In the name of God Almighty. Your Excellency, Mrs. Ursula von der Leyen, the President of the European Commission, Excellency, Mr. Alexander De Croo, the Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Belgium and the incumbent President of the European Union, Excellency, Mr. Nikos Christodoulidis, President of the Republic of Cyprus, Excellency, Mr. Kyriakos Mitsotakis, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Greece, Excellency, Mr. Karl Nehammer, Chancellor of Austria, Excellency, Mrs. Giorgia Meloni, Prime Minister of the Republic of Italy, ladies and gentlemen, allow me at the outset to welcome you as dear guests to Egypt. Your visit to Egypt today comes at an intense momentum attested by the Egyptian-European relationships, be it with the EU institutions or with its member states. Your visit today symbolized a phase of paramount significance in the relationships between Egypt and the European Union. We have together achieved success to make a peculiar shift in our partnerships. A few moments ago, Mrs. Ursula von der Leyen, the President of the European Commission, and I signed an instrument of joint political declaration to launch the track of elevation of the relationship between Egypt and the European Union to the level of strategic and comprehensive partnership. It aims to upgrade the level of cooperation for the fulfillment of common interests. Ladies and gentlemen, the track of elevating relationships between Egypt and the EU is coupled with a financial package for boosting the Egyptian economy. The nearly 7.4 billion euros package comprises three key components, including soft financing, investment guarantees and technical support for the implementation of bilateral cooperation projects. Mrs. President of the European Commission and I agreed as well to hold an investment conference between Egypt and the EU during the second half of this year to introduce the investment and the potential investment opportunities in Egypt so as to help promoting the engagement of the European partnerships in the Egyptian market. Today's talks have seen a special focus on the enhancement of cooperation in the field of energy in terms of the natural gas or electric connectivity. We agreed on cooperation in the field of production of green hydrogen as one source of clear energy. We underlined the sustainability of the existing cooperation within the framework of East Mediterranean Gas Forum, for it helps the realization of energy security at both regional and international levels. Ladies and gentlemen, the talks tackled the significance for continuing to contend with the common challenges, at the top of which is irregular migration. We stressed our commitment to combating such phenomenon within the framework of the existing cooperation, while including the developmental dimension at addressing them in addition to reinforcing regular migration pathways. We concurred to the necessity of boosting Egypt's efforts that managed to halt the flows of irregular migration departing from the Egyptian coast since 2016. Furthermore, 9 million foreigners are hosted in Egypt. They enjoy social and health services similar to the Egyptian citizens. Distinguished participants, regional and international profiles of common interest were given due attention in our today's talks. The Palestinian cause and the war in Gaza came at the forefront of which I underscored how inevitable it is to have an immediate ceasefire and end the acts of hostilities by Israel. Within this context, I called upon the European leaders to put more efforts into ceasefire, immediate ceasefire and unconditional ceasefire, further to increasing humanitarian aid to Gaza Strip in order to ease the humanitarian crisis the Palestinians are living. The European leaders and I came to an agreement to reject an Israeli military operation in Rafah that would double the humanitarian crisis from which the civilians in the Strip suffer, not to mention the fallouts of this operation as to liquidating Palestinian cause, which is categorically refused by Egypt. Egypt reiterates its absolute rejection to any attempts by Israel to the forcible displacement of the Palestinian people from their occupied lands since 1967, including Gaza Strip Strip, West Bank and East Jerusalem. I discussed in expatiation Egypt's efforts at resolving the crisis while emphasizing the importance of addressing the Palestinian cause from a holistic and integrated perspective that ensures the rise of the Palestinians to establish their independent state as per the borders of 1967 and its capital East Jerusalem. I would like to conclude by underlining that it is necessary to relay a unified message to the international community to highlight that the sufferings of the Palestinian people in the entire occupied Palestinian territories over the past decades can only be suspended when the State of Palestine is recognized and is given a full-fledged membership in the United Nations and pursue the implementation of the two-state solution in line with the international references. The procrastination with resolving this cause doesn't only jeopardize the region but the entire group to instability. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you anew as guests to Egypt. I thank you for our today's fruitful talks. I look forward for continuing our constructive dialogue and to our constant coordination. Thank you so much. Allow me to invite Mrs. President of the European Commission to take the floor. The floor is yours.